Alright, good afternoon to Dr. Baijia and also my fellow friends. Today I'm Hui Yin Kim, metric number D201910872221. Would like to present about the report of compensation level in four job positions in supply chain and procurement sector between Malaysia and Indonesia. So first of all, salary survey is a tools that determine the median or the average compensation that being paid to the employees in one or more jobs. And the uses of salary survey is to determining the pay policy level of the organization, to determine the type of compensation will being delivered by the organization, and also to identify the market rate. So this is a basic introduction about Indonesia. So this is an analysis in the supply chain and procurement job position in 2019. Okay, so through this graph, we can conclude that basically for each job position, the average salary being paid in Indonesia is higher compared to Kuala Lumpur and Penang, except for the supply chain manager. So this is because the main exports of Indonesia include the mineral fields and machinery, which contribute the most in Indonesia export, and also the demand for the professional in supply chain and procurement sector is increased in 2019. Therefore, the salary for the supply chain and procurement sector also expect we have a marginal increase in Indonesia. Not only that, even though the cost of living in Indonesia is relatively lower compared to in Malaysia, and also due to the steady of economic growth, it actually does not stop Indonesia from giving a higher salary in the supply chain and procurement sector uh, compared to Malaysia. This is because the job position in this sector actually play an important role in the Indonesia's economic. So the Indonesia also expect a lesser demand for the end-to-end supply chain roles and more organizations hiring for the junior level positions to fill a larger teams. Therefore, it could be the reason why the average salary pay for the supply chain manager is in Indonesia is relatively lower compared to Kuala Lumpur and Penang. Not only that, the Indonesia would like to focus more in hiring professionals and also for the more important role. So therefore, we can know that for the salary, like for the jobs of supply chain director is in the Indonesia is higher because Indonesia like to focus more in hiring professionals. So the salary pay for the job positions in the supply chain and procurement sector in Kuala Lumpur is slightly higher compared to the Penang. It's because the cost of living in Kuala Lumpur is relatively higher compared to the Penang. So this is the analysis of average salary pay in supply chain and procurement job position in the year 2020 between Kuala Lumpur and Indonesia. So also as the same, basically the average salary pay for the job in the supply chain and procurement sector in Indonesia is higher than the Kuala Lumpur, except for the supply chain manager. So this is because, first of all, the salary of job position in supply chain and procurement sector does not drop, but at the same time increase in the year of 2020, even though in this year the COVID-19 pandemic is happening. So according to the country manager of Indonesia, they expect a more active hiring in this year and also a hyper growth for startup of the new business verticals. And also due to the competitive remuneration, the average salary pay in this supply chain and procurement sector is increased, and also 22% of the supply chain procurement and manufacturing professionals stay less than 2 years. Therefore, they will having either the promoted of their job positions or having a moving of their jobs. While according to the country manager of Malaysia, they expect a hiring activity to be picked up in the second half of the year 2020 and also see a higher demands for those professionals in this sector. So according to her also, 89% of the supply chain procurement and logistic professionals are optimistic about their job opportunities in this sector. And compared to last year, in 2020, only the procurement director and the supply chain director is having an increase in their average salary pay, while the average salary pay for the logistic manager and the supply chain manager remain unchanged. So this is because most of the recruitment was being focused on the replacement hires. Therefore, the increment in the average salary pay for certain jobs might only be applied after those job vacancy is being filled up. So in conclusion, we can conclude that the average salary pay for the job positions in supply chain and procurement sector in Indonesia is higher compared to Kuala Lumpur and Penang. So even though the cost of living in both Kuala Lumpur and Penang is higher than in Indonesia, but still in this sector, the supply chain and procurement sector, Indonesia pay a higher amount of salary compared to Malaysia. This is because the major industrial sector of Indonesia include petroleum and natural gas and many more, where the most of the end product of the sector above will be export out. Hence, the job in this supply chain and procurement sector play an important role in the Indonesia's economic. Therefore, all the company will offer a better salary pay in order to attract the talents for the jobs. So that's all from me. Thank you very much.